supposedly they made 6 boxes. Well, they shouldn't have had very many bees to only do 6, but they got a lot of bees now. So what happened? What do you suppose happened? She went down, they requeened, but what do we do when we find her? I mean, there could be a green one, and there could be 2. There could be a green one, there could be a young one, which is what I'm kind of thinking maybe there is. There's an old green one but they have a young one, so maybe. Well, the only bad thing is the 6. So, you can't win them all.
So you're hoping you requeen?
No, I'm just lazy. Don't want to do any work. Do you really want to know the truth? Well, we got 2 boxes of bees here, and I mean, we could kill a queen and put a queen in, and then we send them in the bush. What's the difference? Because they're too strong. I don't know what they're going to do. I'll just leave it for Cyrus to deal with when he's putting boxes on. How many this one made? 9? Yeah, this has a blue tag, so we won't mess with this one at all. As long as they're coming. They look like they're coming good enough. Patties are gone. Oxy's gone. I mean, generally towards the fall, they want to start putting honey down below. There's a genetic... This one looks pretty good. There's a genetic trait that causes bees to store honey up or store honey down. So if you have a down store and there was a honeydew flow, even though we had boxes on, then they put honeydew down. Then they got sick. Now they're shit. You got another hive that doesn't store honey down. They didn't put any honeydew down, so now they're good. So they can almost use a box. I kind of want to leave the wraps, got to come off sometime, but right now I'd like the temperature to warm up a little bit more before we start unwrapping. And a lot of the buckfast that we got out of Ontario were storing honey down. And we want top stores because of winter, because bees winter best on sugar syrup, because there's nothing in it. There's no pollen and all that stuff that plug up their guts in the 12 months of winter that we have. This is a red one, but I don't imagine it's a red one. How everything looks for you. Well, they got brood down here. What did they make for honey? 7? Well, they got sealed brood, nice sealed brood here. I don't know. It might be a little bit spotty. It's a little bit spotty, but I don't know if that matters necessarily. It might be a little spotty because they're going down in the weather we've had. That's not surprising me so much. This is a pretty nice comb. There's baby bees coming around, walking all over the place here. And what we said in the beginning is if a hive is strong, you better not try to second guess the queen this year, since our resources are somewhat limited for the bigger loss that we're having. So that's why in one yard, all of a sudden your hives are shit and you come across a hive that's really good. Well, they're probably more inclined to store honey up and they didn't have honeydew to winter on. They're down in the beginning of winter, and I think we have bees that died in the beginning of winter from the moldy combs and some other stuff that we have. Looks like we lost bees early in the winter. So that's the honey down. But honey up and down is generally above the excluder and below the excluder. So if it's down, that's below the excluder. It can be anywhere there. The reality of it is we have to take ownership for the honeydew situation because we didn't go into the hives and pull the honeydew out. We knew it was going to be bad. We thought, well, maybe not. We had boxes on. Well, maybe not so much went down. But which hive has it? How do you determine that? Which hive has it? Do you do all the hives? How do you pull the honey out of 4,000 hives when it's September and your whole job is to get the hives up to weight? I mean, I guess in hindsight, when we go along and find out the hives that are worse, I guess we could have done something, but I don't think too much. And then if the winter hadn't have been as brutal as it was, maybe the bees could have flown a bit and got, and defecated a bit and got rid of some of that stuff that's poisoning their insides. Had it been a winter like the previous one, our losses probably would have been half of what they were from the honeydew. You got to play the cards you're dealt. Sometimes you got to bluff your way through with a bunch of shit. And that's what we're going to try to do this year.
come down from somewhere scenic. It's only time. The